advice of counsel, I invoke my Fifth Amendment privilege against self-incrimination. On the advice of counsel, I invoke my Fifth Amendment privilege against self-incrimination and respectfully decline to answer your question. I invoke my Fifth Amendment privilege against self-incrimination. I intend to follow the advice of my counsel, not yours. I intend to use the advice of my counsel, not yours.
Ex-pharmaceutical CEO Martin Shkreli refusing to comment at the House hearing on drug prices earlier today. Instead, he smirked at members of Congress.
You can look away if you like, but I wish you could see the faces of people, no matter what Ms. Retzlaff says, who cannot get the drugs that they need.
Shkreli became infamous last year after his company raised the price of a drug, one used to treat cancer, one used to treat HIV, from $13 a pill to $750 a pill. When questioned, he defended his decisions as good business. Kurt Schlichter, Jessica Tarlov, back with me now. Kurt, I got to get your take as a lawyer. What do you make of the way he behaved at the House hearing?
Well, Deidre, if he was my client, and he wouldn't be because there's not enough money in the world to endure that whiny little weasel, the first thing I'd do is say, wear a tie. The second thing I'd say is, if you smirk again, I will wipe it off your face.
I think Representative Cummings kind of gave a more nuanced version of that. But I want to kind of bring in that point, Jessica. I mean, Cummings did say, listen, you can change your ways. You can turn your life around. Instead of being a poster boy for irresponsibility, you can flip that around. Here's his comment.
You've detailed the knowledge about drug companies and the system we have today. And I truly believe, are you listening?
Yes.
Thank you.
So we cut out the comment, but essentially he was saying, listen, you can be seen as better. You can do better than this. And Shkreli, just to Kurt's point, seemed to just think it was funny.
Yeah, I mean, I'm sure he doesn't think it's actually funny. This is one of the most deadly insecure people I've ever seen in my life. I mean, he lashes out constantly. He made that weird video with his, he owns the Wu-Tang album where he is, around with his posse. I don't know if that's like the right, his pharmaceutical posse or whatever. Yeah. I mean, the point here, though, is, A, we have a disgusting person, but then, B, we also have, the red meat that the Democrats are using now about drug pricing and the gouging that's going on, and that's a signature pocketbook issue for the liberals, and they're using it, and the GOP has been largely silent on it except for Donald Trump, actually, and Marco Rubio said, this is an aberration, but I think that the Republicans are really going to have to start talking about this issue as we move forward, because it's not going away.
Kurt, you said his attorney, you wouldn't be his attorney. Let me just say this, and his attorney, speaking about all the money in the world, said Shkreli didn't intend to show disrespect. We have a quick clip, and I'm coming right back to you, Kurt.
Mr. Shkreli did not intend to show any disrespect for any members of the committee, listened intently. Some of what you saw was nervous energy.
All right, so nervous energy, but then Shkreli tweeted right out, hard to accept that these imbeciles represent the people in our government. How can this guy even be allowed still to be on social media? I hear that he took out the soundtrack of a YouTube video instead of letting the voiceover, but how does this happen?
Oh, my gosh. Deidre, I appreciate his lawyer zealously protecting his client like a trooper. Good for you. But capitalism is the greatest engine of human justice and human improvement and human happiness that mankind has ever invented. And this little weasel is making us all look bad. I agree with Jessica. Republicans need to talk about. We need to talk about what capitalism is. It's about creating jobs. It's about creating products. It's about raising a standard of living. It's about creating drugs that save people's lives. This guy is a disgrace, and he is not what capitalism is.